Welcome to another video from 55 degrees north. In today's fortnightly Newcastle upon Tyne construction and restoration update, we're taking you around the city to explore the latest progress on some of Newcastle's most exciting developments. We will be visiting all the usual sites, including Pottery Lane and Pilgrim Place, and several other key projects shaping the future of the city. And I will be having a deeper look at the Northumberland Street pavement improvement works, and news on a demolition project and a restoration project. Starting, as usual, at the new students' village at Castle Leazes. From bare ground to a rising structure, this site is transforming fast, and what you're about to see today shows just quickly how things are taking shape. Let's start with one of the most important structural elements, the core lift shafts. You can clearly see that 4 of them are fully complete, standing tall and defining the layout of the future buildings. And just behind them, the 5th shaft isn't far off either. It's catching up quickly and will soon join the rest. Now here is where things really start to feel exciting. One of the first completed lift cores, steelwork, is officially going up. These steel frames are the skeleton of the buildings, and you can already see them taking shape. Watch closely, you can even spot the crew installing one of those bright orange support beams. These temporary supports are crucial, holding everything steady while construction continues upward. And it doesn't stop there. As we move further around the site, a 6th core lift shaft has now begun construction, expanding the footprint even more. Across the rest of the site, groundwork is still in full swing. Crews are drilling and digging deep foundations, laying the base for what's to come. You'll also notice stacks of steel waiting nearby, ready to be installed as soon as each section is prepared. It's a constant cycle of progress. Just weeks ago, this was mostly groundwork. Now, you can already see the structure rising. It's one of those moments where the scale of the project really starts to hit. We are now down at Leazes Park Road, where this students' accommodation project is suddenly picking up serious momentum, and there's a lot to uncover. Let's take a closer look. Starting at the bottom of the site, and this is where things get exciting, the scaffolding is finally coming down. For months this section has been completely hidden, but now we can finally see completed brickwork in full. And honestly, it gives us a much clearer idea of how this building is going to sit alongside the surroundings. Even more interesting is the connection point between the old Georgian building and the new structure. We're now seeing windows and panel installations taking shape in the gap, blending the old and the new together. It's one of those moments where the project suddenly feels real. Now, let's move round to the back of the site. This area is still mostly wrapped in scaffolding, but even through that, you can see how far things have come. Looking up at the top, the brickwork is nearly complete. There's really not much left before it reaches full height. Down at the main entrance, there's been notable progress too. More glass and panelling have been installed, giving us a better sense of how the entrance will look once finished. And there's something new, pallets delivered to the site, wrapped in black plastic. One of them is torn open slightly, and from what we can see, it looks like sections of ducting, so internal systems are likely starting to move forward as well. Remember that wall we saw in that construction in the last update? Well, it's now almost complete. And nearby, there are still stacks of insulation sitting on pallets, ready to be installed. So while some areas are nearing completion, others are just getting started. Finally, stepping out onto Leazes Park Road itself, this side of the site still looks pretty similar to before. It's mostly covered in scaffolding, and the brickwork hasn't quite reached the top yet, but it's getting close. So while the front has revealed a lot, this side still has a bit more to go before we see the full picture. All in all, this project is clearly moving at a pace now, especially with that big reveal at the front. Over the next few weeks, we should start seeing even more of the scaffolding come down and the building really begin to take its final shape. We are now back down at Pottery Lane, where Olympian Homes are transforming this area with a massive new apartment block, and trust me, things are changing fast. Starting up here on the Redcliffe Bridge, you get a perfect view across the entire site, and straight away you can see that the front elevation is still mostly wrapped in scaffolding, but not for long. At the very top, sections of that scaffolding are slowly disappearing with each visit, revealing more of the finished brickwork underneath. It's one of those changes that really shows how close parts of this build are getting to completion. Moving around to the back, there's even more visible progress since the last update. The panels beneath the windows have now been completed, and that's a big step forward. Even more impressive, the scaffolding here is now almost completely down to ground level. That's usually a clear sign that this section is nearing the final stages externally. Down on Pottery Lane itself, especially near the arena end of the street, those large trenches we saw previously dug out for drainage have now been filled in. And work isn't stopping there. You can see the progress continuing further along the street, suggesting that infrastructure work is steadily advancing across the entire site. Along the front of the building, there's still plenty of activity. Wooden boards are stacked up ready for internal walls, and building materials are scattered across the site, waiting to be used. You'll also notice several skips filled with waste, stacks of timber ready for removal, and pallets of tiles likely for internal flooring. And take a look at this insulation, thick enough to suggest these apartments are going to be well insulated and energy efficient. At the far end of the site, another big change. The large trench we saw in the last update has now been filled in. There's just a small section remaining, which appears to be where the electrical feed has been installed. Once that's complete, this part of the groundwork should be fully wrapped up. Overall, some solid progress here at Pottery Lane. Scaffolding coming down, infrastructure moving forward, and more signs that these apartments are edging closer to completion. Now moving up to Carlisle Square and the Pilgrim Place development, where progress is happening at an incredible pace. So let's take a closer look. Starting along the length of the building, the first thing that immediately stands out is just how much more complete the structure looks. A lot more breeze block walls have gone up since our last update, giving the building a much clearer shape and layout. Alongside that, you can see more plastic wall ties being installed. These are essential for securing the structure and ensuring long-term stability. It's these small but critical details that show real progress is happening behind the scenes. Taking a look inside, there's more activity. You can spot studding being fixed onto some of the internal walls. This is where the interior spaces really start to take form. Rooms, corridors and layouts are beginning to emerge. And if you look down below, crews from Northumberland Water are working in a trench, likely installing or upgrading essential utilities. At the far end, scaffolding has also been installed, giving the workers access to higher sections of the build. Moving further along, we can see internal ducting that appears to be nearly complete, another key milestone. Between the two buildings, more external panels have been fitted, tightening up the structure. And on the lower floors, we are now seeing the first signs of the sprinkler system being installed, an important step making the building functional and safe. Over on the Warstick Street side, there's been a big jump in progress. A lot more window frames have been installed across the steel structure, giving the building a more finished, modern look. Around the back, it's a similar story. More frames, more definition and more visible progress. And as for the second building, things are moving steadily. While it's largely similar to the last update, there are a few additional panels in place. And finally, at lower levels, more window frames and glass have been installed. Another clear sign we're moving closer to completion. What's really fascinating about this project is how quickly it's evolving. Every fortnight, something new appears. Walls rise, systems go in, and the vision becomes clearer. What once looked like a steel skeleton is now starting to feel like a real building. So now for a very quick update on the new His Majesty's Revenue and Customs building. The internal fit-out work is still very much ongoing, and the current timeline suggests completion is expected sometime in 2027. That's when staff are likely to begin moving in to the building. So if you look through the windows, you can actually spot some of the behind-the-scenes work in progress on the lower levels. There appears to be ducting laid out across the floors, likely waiting to be installed as part of the building's ventilation system. And if you look a bit further up, you'll notice stacks of insulation materials piled up, ready for the next stage of installation. These are essential components that will help regulate temperature and improve energy efficiency throughout the building. So this tells us that while the exterior may give off the nearly finished impression, the internal systems, the things that really make the building functional, are still being carefully put together. These stages often take longer than expected because they involve complex infrastructure like heating, cooling and circulation. Now heading over to Ellison Place and to the new North East Space Skills and Technology Centre. Now, I wasn't expecting any notable changes on the outside, as most of it's now complete. When I arrived, there was clear activity happening on site, just not in the way you might expect. One of the biggest things I noticed was that workers were dismantling parts of a crane. And this wasn't just minor adjustments, there was a full operation underway. Another crane nearby had a section of the dismantled crane chained up and was carefully lowering it down from the end of the other crane. It was being guided down with precision, ready to be loaded onto waiting trucks. So with no visible external progress, I will bring you any updates when I see any that has been completed or about to take place in future updates. Now for a bit of an in-depth look on how the Northumberland Street pavement restoration works are going. Starting down the low end of Northumberland Street, you can immediately see the difference. Most of the section is now complete and it really shows. The pavement is largely finished, the space feels more open and crucially, large areas have now been fully reopened to the public. There are still a few small sections left to wrap up, but compared to how it looked just a few weeks ago, it's a massive improvement. Now looking in the opposite direction, it's a completely different story. Here, there are still some pretty large sections to complete. You've got ongoing groundwork, unfinished paving, and areas that are still clearly mid-construction. But one of the standout additions is the installation of 2 of the Pilgrim pools. They are now in place, although not fully finished just yet. Once the outer covers are added and they are fully lit, these could actually become a really striking feature of the street. As we move closer towards the entrance to Eldon Square, there's still a bit more work to be done. Right now there's a large trench that still needs to be filled in, so this section is very much still a work in progress. It's one of the key connection points on the street, so once it's finished, it should really help tie everything together. Heading further up towards the top end, there's still quite a large stretch left to complete. You can see ongoing block paving work and several areas where the finishing touches are still underway. Seating installations are still being worked on in parts, but some of it's already in place. And right at the very top, more seating has now been completed and is ready for the public to enjoy. It's a small detail, but it really adds to the overall feel of the space, making it more than just a shopping street, but somewhere where people can actually stop and spend time. When you step back and look at the full picture, it's clear this project is in its final stages. What was once a heavily disrupted construction zone is now starting to feel like a refreshed modern city centre space. There's still work to be done, but the transformation is definitely becoming visible. So what do you think? Do you think it'll be finished in April? Because that's what its timeline is. Please let me know in the comments below. And now for that demolition project I mentioned at the start of the video. Right next to the iconic Lane Art Gallery stands Higham House, or at least it still stands for now. At first glance it might just look like another office block, but behind that scaffolding is a building that's been empty for years. Back in 2011, the council bought Higham House as part of a bold plan to transform East Pilgrim Street. But there was a problem. Higham House wasn't just outdated, it was fundamentally flawed. Poor construction materials made it difficult, even dangerous, to bring back into use. Over time, the situation got worse. For the past 5 years, the building has been surrounded by scaffolding, not for renovation, but for protection. Protection for the public. So now, the decision has been made. Demolition is going ahead. It won't be cheap, around 2 million, including careful planning and protecting nearby metro tunnels. But here's the key. Tearing it down actually saves money, long term, by ending the ongoing costs of keeping it secure. Moving on to the Discovery Museum. So recently, a viewer of the channel reached out and said, "Have you seen the scaffolding at the Discovery Museum?" Naturally, I had to dig deeper, and it turns out this isn't just routine work. It's part of a massive restoration project that will shape the museum's future for years to come. So here's what's going on. The Discovery Museum is undergoing a major roof restoration, backed by a huge £3 million grant. Contractors are already on site, and as you can see, protective hoardings are going up around the building. This isn't a quick fix either. The work is expected to continue all the way until spring 2027. The project is being supported by a £3 million grant from the government's Museum, Estate and Development Fund, which is administrated by the Arts Council of England. On top of that, Newcastle City Council, who actually own the building, are putting in an additional £865,000. The extra funding will go towards restoring the building's bricks and windows, not just the roof. And that brings us to the end of this update. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a comment with your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think about the projects we've covered today. And don't forget to give the video a massive thumbs up, because it really helps the channel grow. If you've not already done so, please consider subscribing to 55 Degrees North and hit that bell notification when I release more videos. A massive thank you for watching. I will see you next time, right here on 55 Degrees North.